Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to show you how to paint your valve cover. I'm just going to be doing red on the valve cover right there. And I might be painting some other small pieces. Alright, so what you're going to need is, for my application, a 10mm socket to get the bolts off. And then I'm using heat protective paint, red paint. You can also throw some clear coat on top if you want, but you don't have to. This is what I'm using. It's caliper paint, but it'll work. It's what I had around. You're also going to want to remove all your hoses and everything interfering with you taking off the cover. Like this hose right here, I'll remove just all this stuff. Also, the wires that are going to the spark plugs, you do not want to mix these up. So make sure you number them or you know where they're going to go if you take them off. All right, so all the bolts are out. I unplugged the hose and then I numbered all of these. So when I pull them off, I know exactly where they're going to go. Set these over to the side, and then this should, come right off. All right, one sec. All right, there's the inside, all oiled up. All right, for anyone doing this, definitely get some brake cleaner before you start, so you can clean out the inside before you paint it. I do not have any, so I'm just gonna leave it like that and clean up the outside to paint it. But it would be nice to kind of clean up the inside also. I'm just gonna remove all the unnecessary stuff, like these little brackets right here, oil cap, stuff like that, the gasket, and then I'll get to prepping. All right, so since I don't have brake cleaner, I'm gonna use the next best thing, which is some dish soap and hot water. And that should get the grease and oil off pretty easily. I'll let you know what it looks like. All right, once you get it all cleaned up, you're gonna wanna tape off, just with masking tape, parts like this that you don't want paint on, around the oil, where the oil cap goes. And that's about it for this valve cover. It's pretty simple. But yeah, the soap did a really good job cleaning this up. So let me mask it up and I'll get to painting. Also, if you don't have a nice rubber valve cover gasket that you could reuse, you're definitely gonna wanna replace it. Or if yours is cracking or it's just made out of gasket maker, then you're definitely gonna wanna clean the surface and make a new one. All right, so everything's taped up and I brought it outside to paint. I'm just gonna run it with a couple light coats just to get a nice base. Then I'll let that dry and I'll do some heavier coats to get a deeper red color. I went ahead and just brought it inside since the wind was pretty bad and I want to make sure this looks as good as possible. So this is the first light coat drying on it, and then I'll do a couple more. All right, just laid the third coat down. I'm gonna let this dry up and I'm gonna give you a little update on the BMW. Sadly right now, it's been sitting for almost 2 weeks because I fried the FRM, which the FRM is like the computer module that controls the headlights, it controls the windows, tail lights, head unit, everything electronic wise. So right now it's just sitting until that comes in, which was not a fun fix, but it's pretty easy, just expensive. Who knew that? So the problem is if you disconnect and reconnect the battery too many times, it shocks the FRM unit, and its safety mechanism is it'll blow the FRM before it blows anything else. So yeah, that got fried, but a new one's on the way. And then there's the Land Cruiser. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I'll just give you guys a quick rundown of what's done to the BMW. Right now it has VMR wheels on it, silver wheels. It has eye-back lowering springs. It has a little carbon fiber M4 style spoiler on the back. It has a catless downpipe, but the stock M Sport exhaust, it sounds really good and it doesn't drone. It has an aftermarket head unit that you can't really see right now. I don't have the keys with me, but it has a VRSF larger front mount intercooler. I painted the kidney grills, and it has M4 style mirror caps. It has a metal charge pipe. It has a cold air intake and one-step colder spark plugs, new coil packs, and it has a stage 2+ tune. It's a really fun daily. It makes around, I'd say, a little over 400 to the crank, maybe a little under 400 horsepower to the wheels, but it's really fun. All right, I pulled it out into the sun just to dry up, and so you can see the color in the sun. Looks pretty good. Before it fully dries, I do want to scrape off the paint on the Nissan letters, just so it's the silver instead of all red. All right, so I'm at Ace Hardware now because I need to pick up some clear coat for the top of the valve cover. All right, I got the clear for two reasons. One being I want to scrape off the letters on the top, and then I need to put clear on top so it doesn't peel. And then I also just want a little bit shinier of a finish. So I'll show you guys how to do the clear next. All right, so I used a little razor blade to scrape off the Nissan OHC overhead cam logo and those two lines. It definitely took a lot longer than expected, so you just gotta be patient so you don't mess it up. But now I'm gonna spray the clear over it. I'm gonna start with two pretty light coats, 10 minutes in between each one. And then on the last coat, I'll go a little bit heavier. You wanna wait at least 10 minutes before you spray again, just to reduce orange peel. That's about it. All right, third and final clear coat is done. I'm gonna let this sit for 15 minutes and I'll start putting it back together. That's what it's looking like. The clear coat turned out pretty well, I think. All right, so the valve cover is back on. I tightened down all the bolts and I'm connecting back the hoses right now, and then it'll be all done. It's looking really good compared to what it was. All right, back and running. Time to go for a little drive. Wow, that looks so much better.